Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are here back at Carowinds for our first ever media event for Carowinds. Thank you to Adventures That Rock, thank you to Richard and Sandy for inviting me along, kind of just let me fill in for them, and I hope y'all enjoy this video. Alright guys, they got bacon lollipops, what is that? Chamoy, Cajun salt and sugar, pineapple skewers, watermelon wedges, some corn on the cob, Korean pulled pork, nachos. That looks really good. Mustard cookie sandwich, confetti cookie sandwich, churro crispy treat, $10 snickerdoodles, a pineapple right side up funnel cake. All this is going to be available for the summer, for their summer events. And man, I don't know which one I would want to dig in first, but that pineapple funnel cake looks really good.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you in person instead of on your channels.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So great new tricks. We really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
And I know you talk about your past inspirations. So you obviously have new tricks that you haven't done before. So do you have any more like modern or current inspirations that you can tell us about?
Yeah, you know, we're always looking for inspiration everywhere when we go to do our show again, and specifically coming back here to Carowinds for a second residency, we wanted to bring back the favorites that people love and then swap out some different things. The warrior section of the show that we presented with the mystery box was something that I remember seeing magicians like David Copperfield and Siegfried and Roy do when I was growing up. And funny enough, 20 years ago this summer was when I started doing theme parks. And I got to perform that illusion, that original theme park season at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Being this my 20th year as an illusionist, I wanted to bring that back into the show. So not so much of an external inspiration, but more as kind of to keep tied to my roots and remembering the magic I felt the first time I got to do that trick.
The theme of illusions and magic, what was your hardest illusion to master?
That's good questions. The hardest to master, when I worked for Disney for about a decade, and when I toured with that show, we traveled all over the world, and we actually did a double levitation in that show, where not only did I levitate one of the princesses, but I also levitated myself, and that was a very complicated illusion to perform. It was also a little scary. I don't like heights, and I was levitating myself 10 feet in the air every single show, sometimes multiple times a day, which is why you don't see that in this show. It's a beautiful piece of magic as well, but you know, that was a challenging one for sure. But that's kind of the thing about any of the magic we do, they're all challenging. If I pick up a piece of magic or a prop and it's too easy, there's something wrong. Either with the presentation or with the way we're staging it. But we go through a 2-week rehearsal process with a show that's already built like this. When we're building a show brand new, sometimes it could be longer. And each specific illusion has its own challenges because there's different nuances. It sometimes has to do with the cast members that are participating in it. Sometimes it's me, I need to learn something new, such as where I did the double levitation. But the key to it is having an incredible team of people that are surrounding us. And that's our crew, that's our production team that works on the show all year long before we even get on site. This year, for those of you that had seen the show previously, did you notice any of the new lighting changes that we made? Hopefully. I hope. We actually redid all of the lighting this year. And we have an incredible lighting designer, Eric, who is here with us in the back of the booth. Give Eric a nice big round of applause, please.
All right, guys, we are off to the Paladium, the concert area of Carowinds, for a backstage preview.
We're going to talk through a few things as we walk around, and then we'll get on stage and chat about any questions you guys have, okay? Cool? Right this way. Oh, he literally, according to him, like, Andrew asked if he saw them half. I will not be picking that up. Like I said, friends, lots of construction happening, lots of new supplies coming into the space, including hot dog rollers and pretzel displays and nacho cheesers. So, I think that's what they're called, is cheesers. Yes. We also will be reactivating this merchandise stand. There will be one unique shirt for the concert series that has all of our artists named on it. And then some of our artists will have their own merchandise as well. That's kind of they get to choose their own adventure on that, so we can't really speak to fully who's bringing a shirt, but I'm hoping Leanne rhymes, and I'm hoping it's a cover of Coyote Ugly. That's what I'm hoping for. But the merchandise stand will be available for you. So just so you all know, you'll see we've got our refreshment stands. We call them our food blocks. We passed food block A and food block B right here to your left, to my right. Our food blocks will be serving what we're just calling like concert snacks. That's going to be things like nachos, hot dogs, pretzels, things you can just grab and go. I do want to let everyone know there will be plenty of beer available for our concert series. Very excited. So, go on this way. Dumpster, if you get a picture of the dumpster, that's available for you as well. We are building a small beer garden as well for our guests to experience during the concert series. So these tents, you might recognize them from Carnival. They're multi-use, that's why we like them so much. These tents will serve a barbecue sandwich as well as our Dunkin' loaded waffle fries, like you have at AAA. So a little bit more of an elevated experience in the beer garden. And then obviously, you can't have a beer garden without a beer. The place for stroller parking. Yeah, exactly. It's a traffic cone. It's a giant traffic cone that you have to have a crane to. This area, when our guests walk in, we will have our security booth for lost kids. That's where our security officers will be dispatched from as well in case there's any support. And then we will also have our stroller parking as well as wheelchair parking for those guests who are able to transfer from their mobile device to a seat. Cool. Down here a little bit further is where things are going to get real fun, okay? I'm going to give you all the inside scoop on how we're operating our concert series, okay? Get ready. Your mind's about to be blown.
And you guys will be the first ones to hear it. We're not going to release it until Monday.
Yes. So, get ready. Get ready to share with all your folks how a theme park operates. Like, I think they're going to be real excited about it. So, for the concert series, as you can tell, like I said, there are 13,000 seats inside the Paladium. That is a lot of seats. We want to make sure that folks don't rush. We want to make sure that folks don't run. We want to make sure that folks, while they might want to get to a seat quickly, that they are safe about doing it. So, we've split the Paladium into 3 different sections, section A, B, and C. A is all the way at the bottom of the theater, B is the middle, and then C is all the way back here, these uncovered seats. So, starting at park open on concert days until 4 o'clock or supplies run out, we'll be giving guests wristbands to get to the bottom third of our Paladium seating. So those wristbands are going to be available at our Thrill Zone stage. We have 2 in-park stages for our concert series. One's in Thrill Zone and then one's at the Thunder Road Lawn. Both of those will have great artists throughout the weekends, but we'll send folks to Thrill Zone. They'll be able to collect that wristband from an associate, and then they'll be able to join us when gates open at 5 o'clock. Our gates for Paladium are slated to open at 5 o'clock. with most of our opening acts starting at 7 o'clock. And most, that's an important word, like that's italicized here, most of our headliners will start at 8:30. So those are the timelines for you. So 5 o'clock is when gates will open. The really fun thing about having a summer music festival is that the entire park is part of the party. So again, 2 stages, Thunder Road Lawn and Thrill Zone. Those performers will be there from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, so you can enjoy their music, enjoy the park, right? That'll be really fun. And then gates for the Palladium will open at 5. We will not allow guests to line up before that. So once those gates open at 5, folks with wristbands, well, everyone will come this way, and I'll walk you through what happens. But they're going to go through the Section A sign right here. Those with wristbands will head down, and those without will head to Section 2 and 3 and find whatever seats they like. Cool, so we'll head that way. We can also show you where the restrooms are and where first aid is as well. So that's another important part from an operational standpoint. We want to give guests the layout of the entire land because the Palladium hasn't been utilized in this way in quite some time. So lots of folks learning more about their new space. Again, like I said, we are cleaning, so watch your steps when it comes to mud. There was a lot of mud. Our park services team and our park washdown team have done a killer job making the space really presentable. So enjoy that. We'll go up on stage. I'll tell you more about some of the tech and production elements that are coming for the concert series.
I'll get on it, but I'll be like scared of it.
So as you can see, there are a lot of seats in this Palladium. I think sometimes people don't fully understand what 13,000 looks like when it comes to actual chairs. So this is 13,000 seats. So we're really excited to welcome our guests in to enjoy the concert series. Like I said, this bottom third, right, is the best way to think about it, will be for those wristbanded guests who get those wristbands at Thrill Zone stage. Then that middle section will be first come, first serve, and then the back third will also be first come, first serve. Cool. So let me tell you about some of the technology that's happening up here. So we will have 2 massive screens on either side of the stage. So again, there will not be a bad seat in this theater. Yeah. What questions do you have? As a reminder, there will be an FAQ sent out on Monday and available on the website as well. That's going to answer a ton of questions when it comes to our operational opportunities, right? Those time frames will be in that as well for you so that you have that in writing, which will make your life a little bit easier. But what other questions do you have? Yeah?
What about inclement weather?
Inclement weather will be a case-by-case situation, right? So much like how we operate the park, right? There are different mile radiuses based on lightning and thunder and what might be coming our way. We've already talked with our artists as well about those opportunities. Depending on how late the weather rolls in or doesn't roll in, will dictate if maybe the headliner doesn't open, or maybe the headliner only does a 30-minute set instead of a 45-minute set. Those will be on case-by-case situations. all that information will be available on those big jumbo screens as well. We'll make sure that everyone in the audience knows what's going on as well. Got to enjoy maybe like a Joy Fest or Christian Music Days. Those are the last big concerts we had in this space in 2019 and before that. Those were all ticketed, so you had an assigned seat. So we're using this wristband experience to test the waters and see where we need to make different choices in the future potentially as well.
It's also a great opportunity for season pass. Come and see all the shows for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions that you guys have had since we made the announcement that we can maybe help answer? Maybe something we haven't thought about yet?
I just have a follow-up question about the wristbands. I know people will probably try to sell those. How are you going to deal with like people tampering with those or anything like that?
Yeah, so every day we'll have a different color,
Okay, cool.
which is great. And because I'm who I am as a person, I also made sure that like weekends aren't the same color. So like lime and chartreuse are not on the same weekend.
Right.
That was a color joke for any color theorists. Very niche joke as well. So everyone the guests have to be present to receive their wristbands, and someone from the team will put the wristband on that person. Yeah.
What are your numbers? What do you base the purchase off of?
So down here, this bottom section is about 1,000 and some change guests. So that's what we base that number off of. So again, it's our hope that guests who are super excited about a specific artist will take the time to come to the park early and get those wristbands, starting as soon as the park is open. Those wristbands will be available until 4 o'clock or until supplies last. So that'll also help us dictate, honestly, what kind of energy we're going to experience as well. Yeah.
Are the only exits and entrances over there?
No, so we got this massive exit here, and then once the concert wraps up, we'll exit from there as well.
But like if those people need to use the bathroom or get a beer, that way?
It'll be that way, yeah, to that main entrance, right? What we kind of call the main, right in the dead center there. Yeah. Once, we're still working on exactly how to communicate what's going to happen. So you guys came through, right, when you exited the park, when you came under that little shack, that's exiting the park officially. So you won't exit the park in the same way, right? So right now you exit the park and then you go to the right a little bit. So we're going to move that exit slightly up so that there's a different flow up there, but we'll have signage and be able to walk through all those pieces. Once we iron all those pieces out as well, to your point, there'll be some opportunities for us to make right fit choices for some of these other exits and entrances. What else?
What's the average opening act versus headliner like time frame?
Yeah, so most of our headliners, weather pending, are about a 45-minute set for the opener, more or less. Some are up to an hour, depending on who they are. And then our headliner is about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes. So you really, right, with gates opening at 5, you have about 2 hours to grab a beer, grab a snack. Our hope also is that guests are enjoying their time in the park beforehand. As you heard, the menu inside of the Paladium is not life-altering. She is not festival food in any way, shape, or form, right? So we're really hoping that our guests enjoy the park and the opportunities our food and beverage and culinary team have created there for us. And then when you come in here, it's, again, a drunken waffle fry, a pretzel, and a beer sort of experience. Yeah.
Does the food, what's called food pass or food things like that, does it transition over?
Unfortunately, no. Our snack and dining plans won't transition to the Paladium. Our beverage programs will, though.
So if you have an all-season,
Yeah, if you've got a
something like that. But
beverage.
once again, we encourage people, you're welcome to go off to the park, come back in. So yeah.
Once you're in, right, sometimes, like if you go to PNC or any other concert venue, like once you're in, you're in. Part of the joy and like beauty of having a concert series in a theme park is there's a theme park. So we're hoping that folks will, these folks up front who really want to be here for these specific artists will get those wristbands. You don't show up at 5 o'clock if you have a wristband. Now, if you want to sit up front, you should show up at 5 o'clock. But if you've got a wristband, you have a seat ready for you, right? Yeah, and this whole front section, all the way to where those pink chairs are, that's the dividing line for the wristbands. And then that next section. But again, like I said, there's no bad seats in here, and there's 13,000 of them. So there will be a lot of folks able to enjoy all the entertainment.
All right, guys, front row. This is just kind of facing the crowd a little bit more from the front row. I want to turn around. got right here at the stage. This is how close you're going to be able to get. Of course, you're going to have to get a wristband and just try to get here early, as far as in the early park day, and then just get a wristband, and you'll be able to get pretty much this close, if not a little bit further back, but still at a really good spot. And this would be the view, kind of middle part, about CC area roughly, kind of going off of this column right here. Get the idea, but blue chairs, and then kind of the beige green kind of looking chairs. And this would be the view from the stage area. Definitely can't wait to be able to hopefully attend at least one of the concerts here, since they got it open. Even the last row is actually still not that bad. Actually, hey, it gets you closer to the entrance exit of the area and use the restroom and get a beer. All right, guys, this is somewhat of pretty much the view from the stage area of the Paladium. Definitely want to once again thank Richard and Sandy for inviting me, let me go, and then also thank you, Carowinds, for approving it for me to be able to go to the media event, as I got that backwards. So definitely appreciate that, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if y'all did, help us out, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and we'll catch y'all next time. Later.